Katie, crews working on the frog fire we talked about east of Prineville made an interesting discovery. They found an historic Ponderosa trough in the Ochoco National Forest and Maury Mountains. Built between 1915 and 1940, this trough was used to provide water for grazing livestock. The frog fire has been burning just a quarter mile from that trough, and crews are doing all they can to preserve this rare piece of history.
They would even use them once they were down, hollow them out, and then take some pipe, sometimes iron pipe, and pipe from a nearby spring into that trough, which would give them a little bit more security to be feeding their stock while they were grazing in the area.
Grazing in that area began in the late 1800s. This Ponderosa trough was recently deemed eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. The Arnold Irrigation District shut off the water supply a couple of weeks ago, and now Central Oregon farmers say they have a hay shortage. Rhea Pinella spoke with the Deschutes Basin WATERMASTER to learn what's next.
Well, you can see how the fields are drying up.
Richard Nelson, who owns a 10-acre farm east of Bend, says the Arnold Irrigation District shut off its water supply about 2 weeks ago.
They reduced the amount we were getting per acre for a while, then went to 4-day on, 4-day off, and I tried to manage the best I could with that. And then finally we don't have any water left, period.
Jeremy Giffin, the Deschutes Basin WaterMaster, says the water levels in the Deschutes Basin are extremely low. He says the flow is currently under 1,000 cubic feet per second, when it should be around 1,300 to 1,400 this time of the year.
The low snowpack and low precipitation, coupled with the minimum requirements out of the reservoirs in the winter time due to the Oregon spotted frog requirements, we're seeing that there's not a lot of natural flow for the irrigation districts. In addition, they do not have a lot of water in the storage accounts.
After the Oregon spotted frog was listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act, the Central Oregon irrigation districts were faced with a lawsuit that meant limited water supply for farmers. Giffin says Wednesday morning they're planning to shut off water in the Lone Pine Irrigation District. Arnold plans to restore the water supply by mid-September, but Nelson says less grass grows during that time. He says the lack of water has led to a 50 to 90% decrease in hay production. Nelson says the water restrictions have already dried out his pastures, but with it completely shut off, he's worried he won't be able to care for his livestock as winter approaches.
We've had reductions in years past. It does take some effort, but I can manage with that.